Hey, welcome back. It's Matt King. Welcome to the third part of our high ticket series here for coaches. If you guys are looking to put together a really nice system that will leverage and that'll allow you to scale your content using leveraged assets that you guys have, what we're doing is putting together a system that will allow you to do that. And I'm going to give you the resources, and a really big chunk of it is in this video right here, which I dubbing Be the Authority. And this is here, let me go to back into our keynote presentation here. We're talking about after the registration page, and we're going into the actual webinar presentation. So, guys, for those of you who are service providers, and maybe you are a professional service provider and have home services like HVAC repair, or maybe you do flooring, roofing, plumbing, electrician, that kind of thing. All you guys need is an explainer video. You guys do not have to do an hour-long webinar presentation to teach people how to fix your HVAC thing or how to re-roof the house. Maybe if you have a training program on how to do that, that's a whole nother story. But we're talking about the actual delivery of said professional service. All you need is maybe a 2 to 5 minute explainer video that explains what it is that you're doing, who you are, what authority you've had, how long you've been around, and how to get a hold of you. And then, of course, get them on the phone and make the sale from there. So this whole system does rely on that. If you're a coach or somebody that solves a problem, helps somebody through something in their life, then this process is one that you could use. And what you're going to use for this cold traffic that's coming in from a registration page, these guys don't know who you are, okay? So you're going to have to build your authority a little bit in order to warm them up and allow them the opportunity to take that next step with you. And that next step is to get on the phone with you so that you can continue being the authority and show them that you can help them. But the first part is this webinar presentation, which you're using to show that you are who you say you are, that you can walk the walk, that you know who they are, what their problems are, and that you have a solution to that problem. If you can use this to really demonstrate that you walk that walk, that you understand their problems, if not as much as them, if not more than them, then they're going to automatically assume that you have the answer to their big life problems, and they're going to take that next step with you, okay? That's what this webinar presentation is for. You can use this process. I'm just going to change screens here. You can use this process to really drive people back into your world. You can take control of that situation. You can use a program like Stealth Seminar. You can automate this process. I recommend doing this process with them while it's live. That way you can interact with them. You can connect with them. And guys, think about it in terms of like the college class that you walk into, or even when you're in high school, you walk into a class, everybody sits down, shuts up, listens to the person in front of the class, and if they don't, then there's just automatically that person is like just has an issue with authority, and you're like, what's this guy doing over here? But the person standing up in front of the class has a platform. And they're just kind of gifted that position because they went to college, they lived the life, they've got the experience. If they're in college, they probably did the things that they're teaching, or they've just been in the books for so long that they know it that much better than you do. And you should be at that level, and you should have some results that you can show. So you're going to use this webinar process to show them that you can get them results. You're going to prove that to them. You're going to go through the process of putting this basically a dog and pony show on, for lack of better words, and you're going to use that to your advantage to prove to them that you know what you're doing, that you can get results. You can use testimonials, case studies. You can also just tell them, hey, look what I've done. I've got this award sitting behind me. I know I've just got my door back here, but you could use, imagine if you use that, I've got some, like a doctor's office or something where they've got the I love me wall back there, right? You could do the same thing. Show off your certifications. Tell them what you've done. Tell them what your story is. Don't spend all day telling them your story. Don't get into a 20-minute tirade on, how your favorite thing to do is photography when that's not related to anything that you're doing. I mean, that's cool. You can work that in, weave that into your story. Hey, I love doing this or that or whatever. People want to connect to you in that way. But remember that this is about their problems. This is about the issues that they are having and how you can solve that big problem, okay? So that's what this is all about. That's what the webinar process is going to do. You can have some secrets. You want to break the false beliefs that these folks have in the back of their heads. They might believe that it's too hard, they're too fat. Remember, go back to the excuses from a previous video, and you can come up with false beliefs, and you could probably break those down and then prove them wrong, and then use that to your advantage to help drive them into the next step of this, which is that call to action, having them take the next step. So, guys, use stories. Stories sell. You can use a story, you can use examples, you can use the case studies, you can use actual training material, but you have to wrap up your training material with stories, with proof, with social proof. You have to maybe relate them. Hey, this is the way things used to be. This is the way things are going to be now. There's so many different ways to do this that what you're doing really is it's a sales message, and it's kind of disguised. So you're using this you're using this sales message to really get people interested in what you're doing and get them to take the next step. It's a persuasion tactic that you guys are using to get people on the phone to take that next step with you, okay? So a lot of times in my videos, you might hear me talking about maybe a client or maybe a previous person that I've worked with and how I've helped them get results in their business. You may have heard me talk about some of those things. And it could be a positive example. It could be a negative example, because guess what? We want to show people the right things to do, but we also want to show them what not to do when it comes to creating funnels, when it comes to, in your case, maybe it's dating, maybe it's fitness, maybe it's finance related, whatever it is. Everybody's got stories that they've brought with them as an expert, because we should have all been in the trenches and helped people at some point in time. So that's the story. That's how this whole process is going to work out. That's what you need to do, is build a platform. You need to be the authority. When you have the platform, you automatically have the authority. When you can fill that authority with your space, people will come to you. They'll look up to you. You'll be the one that they're asking questions to, and you will be the person that they give money to at the end of the day. So that's what we're doing here. You can run a webinar using something like Stealth Seminar. You can use something like Webinar Jam. There's a lot of different ways to make this happen, and I'll leave the links down below. There's a resource section down at the bottom of this blog post. By all means, please feel free to go there and check this out. We also have detailed instructions on how to set this up inside of our funnel store, which is at highticket.co. Again, it's highticket.co. You can go there, pick up the funnels that use this exact same process, and then we have the instructional videos to show you exactly how to set your webinar up and then set up your webinar delivery system. Okay? So that's all I've got for this particular video. Please join up with us in the next video where we're going to continue leading you through this process of how to set up your high ticket coaching, lead gen, and sales system. Okay, take it easy, and I'll see you guys in the next video.